Good morning, my friends. I hope you are well. Make sure you give me a hey as you come in and say hello so that I know that I am not alone on here today. I am popping on some peppermint because I always start with peppermint. It's like my go-to. I just did some frankincense before we got started. I am grabbing some abundance because I told you that is my oil for this year. Oil of abundance and envision. All day, every day, just doing my thing, grabbing my envision real quick. Let me know what oils you are putting on. What is your oil that you use every single day without fail? What is that oil? If you are brand new to oils and you don't have an oil yet, look at the comments, see, envision. I love that one. Look at the comments and see which ones you might want to add into your everyday thing. All right, so we are still kind of waiting to make sure. I never know for sure if I am online or if I'm getting out there because I have taught for a while and then found out that I was all alone. So I'm never really sure until I see that first comment. I see a whole bunch of views coming on, but I don't see any comments. So make sure you say hey so I know you are there. And again, tell me what oil you're using. Tell me what are your favorites. I just put on some Soothe CBD. This is my new favorite. I swear I'm going to teach about it because I'm in love with this oil. Cannot believe I didn't know. Good morning, Joyce. Yay! I am not alone. Kimberly. Hey, long time no hear from Miss Kimberly. Hope you are well. All right, that means I am not alone. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, as you pop in, say hey, tell me where you're coming from, what state, what country, where are you from, and what is the oil that you just can't be without. What's the one you use every day, and even maybe why you're using it, because there's going to be a whole bunch of brand new people, and that way they have some ideas of what you're already doing, and it's not just the crazy oil lady on here sharing. So today is going to be a little bit different. I typically, although you guys don't see it, have this great outline of everything I'm going to teach, so that I go ba, 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 ba. And today I got sticky notes. My computer was not willing to print out anything. So what I did is I just wrote a whole bunch of things that I would have wanted to know. Like, all of my kids are now grown adults, and I got my grandbabies that we're working with, and we're homeschooling them. They are 2 and 4, so we're just at that beginning stages. I did homeschool all 4 of mine, so maybe my perspective on back to school is going to be a little bit different. Maybe you'll pick some nuggets. You'll be like, oh, that's good stuff. So my notes are all over it, and I just went and grabbed a whole bunch of different products, and I thought I would chit chat and talk about it. And the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to back to school is going to be backwards. And you guys are going to be like, why are we starting there? And to me, because I think it's the most important part of having that amazing day with your kids. Not even your kids, just life in general. Back to school or not back to school. And it is sleep. I know, you're like, what? I'm trying to get them out of the bed. But I'm telling you, the easiest way to get them out of the bed is what we do when we get them into the bed and when we get them into the bed. Some of the studies that freaked me out when my kids were teenagers, and we're going to talk about our little ones too, but I want to hit on this right now, is the sheer volume of car accidents that are happening with teenagers simply because they fell asleep, because they were tired, because they were exhausted. And I think it's because most of us don't understand the different physiology. They're different than we are. So we have this great circadian rhythm that puts us to bed and wakes us up. It is a normal rhythm. It's what makes us tired. It's what wakes us up in the morning. It's what controls what we do during the day, when we eat, how we do. The circadian rhythm. It is our inner clock. And for adults, toddlers, and babies, we have this clock that kicks in, and we start kicking out, our little pineal gland starts kicking out melatonin when the sky starts to change. So when it starts getting a little bit dark and there's more oranges and less blues, so think blue light blocking, which we've talked about before, when that changes, our pineal gland, about 2 hours before actual sunset, kicks in and starts kicking out melatonin. And the melatonin is a hormone that my body makes. So when you read the things that say you can become addicted to melatonin, Your body makes melatonin. It's a natural, normal hormone, but some of our systems are a little winky, a little wacky, so they're not kicking it out when they're supposed to. As a matter of fact, when your body is under like massive stress and you have sickness happening, your body will kick out massive amounts of melatonin. There are clinics around that literally treat cancer because it's so melatonin, high dose melatonin is powerful for what it does for the immune system. So your body needs it. It makes it. It does it as the sun is going down. As the light changes, it makes melatonin, and that melatonin gets us all nuggly and ready to go to bed. So it doesn't put us to sleep. It just gets our brain in a space where it can. And it starts at about 2 hours before sunset. So even before we're recognizing the changes, I'm pointing out my window in case you're wondering. And before you are noticing the changes physically with your eyes, that it's changing, your eyes recognize the change, that it's getting nighttime, and it kicks that out. But here's some things that get in the way. The screen that you're looking at right now, it has a whole lot of blue lights. It's a bright light, and it blocks our pineal gland's ability to recognize that it's getting late. See, back in the olden days, we were outside. The only light came from windows. It only came from being outside. And as the lights went down, we got sleepy. But we have so much artificial light between our computers and our cell phones. And you know, we all have our phones all handy within reach. And so do our kids. And it blocks our body's own natural ability to know, hey, it's kind of bedtime. I should be getting ready for bed. So there's some simple things you can do that have nothing to do with young living. You can get blue light blocking filters on the computers and on your phone. They're free filters. Google blue light blocking, and make sure they're on your kids' cell phones. Make sure they're on their iPads, their computer, whatever it is they're playing with. You can even get blue light blocking sunglasses. They're like $15-20 on Amazon that can, if you need them to, they can go over your glasses, or they can be the cute sunglasses that your kids put on later in the evening, especially if they're little. They like doing stuff like that. And then controlling how much time they have on those lights and those devices in the evening. So making sure that a good 2 hours before you're wanting them to go to bed, they're blocking all of the blue lights. And honestly, if you can turn off the screens, I know I might have crossed the line 2 hours before they go to bed. It's powerful. I mean, there's a fantastic book called Glow Kids. Glow Kids. I don't know the author. I didn't write it down. It's phenomenal, discussing what's happening in the frontal lobe when our kids spend so many hours on all of those devices. It's messing with their body's ability to create dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that helps us calm and helps us relax and helps us focus. And there's a large correlation. I know correlation doesn't always mean cause, but there's a correlation to how many hours a child, especially our little ones, even into our teens, spend on those devices. And that doesn't mean bad games. That doesn't mean, doing things they shouldn't be doing. This is just real life using them in what it's doing to their body's ability to create that dopamine, and that it's showing correlation for ADD, ADHD, a lot of the different neurological stuff our kids have, the anxiety, because it's building up all this going on inside them again. And that's just normal use. That's not doing any of the things that people would deem, oh, that's really bad. This is normal use. So it's not saying don't let them use it. It's just saying, limit the amount and make sure they're also getting time where we're using our vision outside. We need to be seeing that long distance. We have so many kids wear glasses now, and it has definitely increased. I don't remember what my percentages are, but it has increased, and a piece of that is we are indoors all the time, and we only have to see short distance. So that long distance, our eyeballs aren't able to do it as well, and we're ending up in glasses. We're making sure they're getting outside where they have to see long distance, and they can see that they can climb the trees, they can use all the big muscles. There's so much science behind why we want to make sure they're getting outside. But 2 hours before bed, try to block as many blue lights as possible. Make sure in your house you're turning off as many extra lights. So in the evening, we want it to get dark. we want to remind our body it's getting time for bed. So it's not just a sudden shut everything off, it's time to go to bed, and their brain, their pineal gland doesn't have time to say, oh, we're going to sleep now, because it's not just defiance, it's not just them being hard to get along with and they never want to listen to me. It's also neurochemical that's happening. So those little tweaks are going to make a difference. And keep in mind, I haven't talked about any products yet, right? I've just talked about life in general and things that we can do and why it's so important. I'm going to pull down my thing so I make sure I'm keeping up with what I got going on. So then there's some things that you can do. So in that evening, when you're making that transition, get your diffusers out and make sure you're diffusing some of the calming oils. If they like peace and calming, if they like stress away, if those are ones they like, throw those in there. You can also go, listen, this is my favorite. This is my favorite for turning it all off, is cedarwood. Cedarwood is an amazing, first of all, amazing aroma. It's great for overall everything. You can rub it on your chest, but what I like is it goes in the diffuser at nighttime because it helps to just start quieting things. And what I do for me, mamas, this is the trick for you, is I take cedarwood straight. It's from the aloe vera family. I mean, it's super gentle on your skin. It's not aloe vera. Don't listen to me at all. And take that cedarwood, put it in your hand. I put about 10 to 15 drops. I rub it around and I rub it all over my skin right as I'm getting ready for bed, because it's so good at stopping me from making lists. It turns everything off so that I can just drift off to sleep. And this is a really inexpensive $15 oil. You can rub it on your kids' feet. The cool thing is it also helps with your brain's ability to focus and think and clarity. So it's a great one for when you're bouncing around and you got 1,000 things that you're trying to do in the middle of the day. You can grab your cedarwood and it helps to bring it all into focus. You can make a little roll-on for your kids and it's going to help with the same thing. It can be used right before bed. It can also be used as they're going off to school, because it doesn't stimulate sleep. It quiets your thoughts. Those are two completely different things. Then we have some great ones. We have Sleepy Eyes. Oh, I love this one. This is for our littles. And you can just, we have an entire kit of great oils. I'm going over one day this month. I don't know. This whole month is all about the kids. So we'll be going in depth on this one. But I want to pull out my Sleepy Eyes, because this one literally helps your little eyes get sleepy. It's a blend of so many different oils together, including that cedarwood. It has rue in here. It has valerian. And those are all oils that are very quieting and help us to be able to drift off to sleep. Help that pineal do the pineal thing it's supposed to do. Then you can rub it on their little feet, you can rub it on their head, you can rub it on their little chest. It smells absolutely wonderful. My grandbabies love this. They get that little massage anytime they stay the night at Gigi's house, that's for sure. We do that because it helps. And then with your olders, you can do for teenagers. Understand, teenagers are different. Like I said, those car accidents and the inability to go to sleep. So how many times have you had your teens go lay down, 2 hours later they're still awake? You're like, you're supposed to be asleep, and they can't, but yet they can't wake up in the morning and they're super exhausted. And it's because how our brain, and kids, littles, babies, 2 hours before sunset, our pineal gland starts preparing us for sleep. The melatonin kicks out. Their circadian rhythm is different. Theirs is about 2 hours behind ours. So when we're ready to go to sleep, we're done for the night, theirs is just now starting to kick in. They're 2 hours behind us. So where you're ready for bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock, they're not ready for bed until what? 12:30. And the way melatonin works is it uses the same receptor that cortisol is in. And cortisol wakes us up, melatonin puts us to sleep. We're supposed to have both. And what happens with our teenagers is that melatonin gets in there, but it takes 6 to 8 hours for our body to use that up for then cortisol to kick in. So they don't want to go to sleep naturally until 12:30, 1 o'clock. 6 hours later has them waking up at 7, 8, 9, and that is too late. Most of them already have to be at school by 9 o'clock, and that's when their cortisol kicks in to wake them up. So they are literally working against natural biology. So my first thing is, if you're a homeschool mama, change their schedule. Let them work on their circadian rhythm. That doesn't mean let them sleep till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but give them a little later bedtime and a little later rise and a little later of starting school. You're going to see some differences. A lot of states have already made some of those changes. Instead of having their high schoolers there at 6 in the morning, they've made changes, well, not 6 in the morning, Instead of having them there so early, they're having them start later school days, and they've noticed lots of differences in aggression. Kids actually staying in school instead of dropping out early. Just changing that sleep cycle. So might be something you want to throw into yours. Another thing that you can do is a product of ours that's called Unwind. Now, Unwind is generally, when we talk about it, we're talking about it for our school age kids, right? And Unwind has I got my notes right here. It's watermelon flavored. It has L-theanine in there, and it also has 5-HTP and magnesium. And those are all supplements that are designed to help us to be able to use our brain more effectively. They help us think, they help with clarity, they help with focus. So during the day, they're going to be able to handle that schoolwork a little bit easier. They're going to be able to remember the things they're told to do. But in the evening, when you give it to them, it helps that brain to quiet down. It partners with the melatonin that your body is already making and creating so that they can get to sleep and stay asleep. Now, here's the thing. Although this is designed for our littles, it's a powder that tastes delicious. Tastes like watermelon. It tastes like I've had a bunch of people tell me pixie sticks. It's just phenomenal. And but the cool part is it's not just for kids. Those same nutrients are amazing for our teenagers. It's amazing for you. You as an adult might want to take 2 instead of taking 1. But if you notice that you're one of those, it just keeps going, or you can't think or get that focus going during the day, you might want to try our Unwind. It's absolutely phenomenal. The next one I want to talk about, let's see, for sleep is our Sleep Essence. Sleep Essence, we have 2 different products that really are going to help to develop that sleep, and they're more for our teenagers and adults, and that is Sleep Essence. Sleep Essence is an oil capsule. It has rue in there, it has valerian, it has cedarwood, it has lavender, and they're all in there, and they help. It also has melatonin in there, a really small bit of melatonin, but there's melatonin, and they help you to get to sleep. So Sleep Essence is one of those that you would take an hour or so before you're getting ready to go to sleep. You know you're ready, you've done your stuff, you can take your Sleep Essence. You can also try our ImmuPro. Now, what I like about our ImmuPro is has that little bit of melatonin in there, but it's packed full of healthy mushrooms and immune supporting herbs that are all in this one chewable. It's a chewable that you can take. So even with your younger ones, when you're, 6th grader is feeling a little down, or they've been around other people that got garbage going on, you could give them those before bed, and it's going to help them so they sleep, but it's also going to help their immune system so that it can support and defend itself. So I love the power of those 2 together. So you can play to see what is it your family needs. Do you need Unwind? Do you need something like Sleep Essence? Do you need something like our ImmuPro? And again, I know it's back to school and you guys are like, we're 17 minutes in and she's still talking about sleep. Do you know why? If we can get good sleep, everything else the rest of the day is going to go better. Your wake up in the morning is going to be easier when they're going to bed at the same time all the time, getting to sleep, staying asleep, and feeling refreshed. If they're laying there tossing and turning and you're fighting and arguing before they go to bed, it sets everything up for that grrr during the day. So I'm just saying, get that sleep in, because then in the morning when you say time to get up, guys, it's a lot easier to get them out of bed because they're rested, they're ready to go. And then you're going to start with things like our Ninja Red. Our Ninja Red is that rise and shine. Ninja Red is all about that immune support. It's about, Ninja Red even helps you to sleep better. We just got some studies in like a year ago showing that taking Ninja Red during the day consistently helps you to get better sleep at nighttime. I'm just saying, sleep plays a role. Then you got that energy, you have that focus, you have that clarity, you have that immune support in our Ninja Red. Our Ninja Red is this yummy juice. It is safe for everybody. There's not an age limit on when and who and why. The average dose is 2 ounces first thing in the morning. And for your teenagers, listen, that sleepy thing I'm talking about and them not being, Zing is a great thing to throw in their backpack. So later in the afternoon when they need that little boost, our Zing is going to give it to them. It's also, instead of them reaching for something like Monster, they're getting a healthy option. This has a tiny bit of caffeine in there from white tea leaves, but it's got so many other nutrient punches that are going to help give them that little boost so that they can drive home safely and you don't have to worry about it. We also have our amazing Immu gummies. We just did a whole video on everything in our Immu gummies, but this is all about immune support. It is a gummy, so your little ones can take this. I think the age that it states on the bag is 4 and above. I'm not gonna lie, my 2-year-old takes them too. I just cut them up in smaller pieces just because I kind of feel like it's a choking hazard. It is a gummy, so I want to make sure that, you know, she's able to swallow everything really good. But anything I give her 4-year-old sister, she's gonna want to. But this is about giving you that strong immune system, so when they're out there with all the sniffle, sneezing, runny nose people doing all the thing, their body can say no thank you, and it can handle its business. It's also about upper respiratory support, so it's keeping all that garbage, it's just keeping it all nice and clean for them. And in the morning when you're doing the other things, I highly recommend that you're doing a food-based supplement. So this right here is our Kids Scent. This is our Mighty Bites. I'm doing a big class on this and all the stuff that's in here, but I need you to know that all of the vitamins, so it's a multivitamins that are in here, these are food based. So these are not synthetics, these are not chemicals, these are beets and broccoli, and this is food based nutrients that they're getting, and they're a chewable. They taste delicious. My grandbabies love them. They're just a chewable. You pop them in. I believe it's 4 a day. Is for your older kids, 2 a day is for the younger kids. Again, they're hard, they're chewy, so for like my granddaughter, I still squish it with the 2 spoons together so it gets more like a powder, and I pop it in a drink for her or in her smoothie. That's the easiest way. We're big smoothie people. And then for your older kids, as soon as they can, y'all can't see it, can you? As soon as they are old enough to start swallowing supplements, that's when I recommend you switch over to our master formula. Our master formula, again, it is food-based. This is not just a whole bunch of synthetic chemicals thrown together. This is foods. There's a video on my website that goes over our master formula and all of the food nutrients that are in here. It's a powerhouse. It's giving them their zinc. It's giving them their all of the B vitamins. You want your brain to pop and function and feel good, and you want your emotions and anxiety and the occasional depression that happens when the kids are going through all those mood swings, which school is stressful, friends. School is stressful. And this is giving them those bases so they're strong, so they feel good. Another great thing you can do in the mornings. Listen, I am a huge proponent of Pure Protein Complete. It is our meal replacement. We have several different ones. My favorite is our Pure Protein Complete for multiple reasons. It is 25 grams of protein. That is a huge powerhouse. That's for 2 scoops. So if you wanted to add 1 scoop into your kids' oatmeal, or 1 scoop into their smoothie, or 1 scoop into their Greek yogurt, or whatever it is that they're having, if you're a cereal person, you're like, no, we eat cereal, they only want some dye, food color, horrible food, right? That people go, that's horrible. You can always add a scoop of our pure protein to the milk that you're pouring over that cereal that they only will eat because that's what their father gets them. Whatever. By pouring that in there, they're getting not only the protein, so 25 grams of protein in 2 scoops, but they're also getting all of the enzymes it takes to digest those proteins. It's 5 different sources that where our protein comes from, 5 different things, but we have all the enzymes so your body can digest them and absorb them. So they're getting that deep in their soul. They're getting all of the amino acids, all those branch chain amino acids. They're getting all the amino acids that build the brain, all the things. In addition, we have something called Elevate TP and peat moss in here, which are massive amounts of minerals that they're getting in there. They're getting so many vitamins. Again, food-based vitamins, not just vitamins thrown in for anything. So it's folate in all 3 of these that we just said. It's got folate. It does not have a synthetic source of that great vitamin B's. It's got the whole thing. This is going to give that energy that they need to get through the day so they feel strong. So you can throw it in your smoothies. You can, if they're oatmeal kids and they just love their oatmeal, you can get chocolate or vanilla. You can throw chocolate into that oatmeal with some Lily's chocolate chips. I'm telling you, they will think it is the best, most delicious dessert, and it's good. And part of what I like is I see it's killing me seeing all of these videos of people grabbing these pre-made protein shakes and like, I'm doing this and I do it 3 times a day, and how proud they are. But y'all, those are packed with so many different chemicals. It is astounding to me that that's where people are getting their main source of protein. You got to make your choices. Like, this is sweetened with stevia. It does not have the sucralose. Sucralose is in almost every one of those pre-made protein shakes, and I'm telling you, the gut issues, a lot of the neurological things, the depression is coming from some of those chemicals. So the ones we can eliminate, which this is an easy way to eliminate, because you're able to just add that protein with none of the garbage. This is vanilla spice. I just shared a recipe of pancakes. I make my pancakes with my pure protein. I love them. They are high in protein. They are high in fiber. They got all that goodness. And I just made one that is a pumpkin one. That's the recipe that I shared. Same time I made my pumpkin ones, I made my husband chocolate ones because he didn't want pumpkin. So you can do little things. And it's not like I would make this big breakfast in the morning for my kids. What we would do is when I would make those, say on a Saturday, I would make oodles of them. So even the recipe I shared the other day makes 16 pancakes, but 2 pancakes has 25 grams of protein. So what I do is I put parchment paper between the rest of them. I put them in the freezer, so when we want them, I pop them out, I throw them in the air fryer. We have breakfast ready in, a minute and a half, but it's high protein. It's got all my fibers. We put hemp seed and flax seed and so many good parts and pieces. So you can do that. You can also take that same recipe and add a couple of cups of flour, and you can turn it into muffins so that you've got food to go. Instead of pumpkin, you can go with blueberry. You can, so many options, my friend. But that good strong breakfast, there's so many studies that are showing that when our kids have high protein at breakfast, they do better throughout the day. Huge. Making sure they've got hydration. Send your kids with water bottles. If your school is one that says they can't drink during classes, you need to petition. You need to go in and say they need water, because look at all the teachers. Every TikTok video of teachers, they show the teachers coming in with all their waters. They're different flavors. They've got all their cans, because you need hydration. So do our kids. Your brain does not function when it is dehydrated. Just little things you can do. You can also, in their smoothies, start doing things like our golden turmeric. So if you take yogurt, I'm going to share that recipe because I do smoothies all the time with Greek yogurt, my pure protein, and a lot of the products that we have. But our golden turmeric helps with the inflammation. It helps with your brain. It helps with that focus, that clarity, all the things. So you know what your kids are around. And the cool thing is this tastes delicious. So you can just take golden turmeric, mix it in some water, and drink it. It's lovely. It is one of those, I just need everybody to taste it because people don't realize how absolutely fabulous that it tastes on its own. I'm looking over here making sure I'm not skipping any things I wanted to talk about, because I just know that I am. For during school, we already said it's emotional. You guys, do you remember being in school, what it's like, especially our little preschoolers having to leave home and suddenly they're there amongst a bunch of other people and they're not the center of anyone's attention? That's an emotional change. Our grade schooler, as they're going through all of the changes and trying to find out who they are and where they fit in the world of things, it's emotional. Our teenagers, it's emotional, right? So making sure they have the tools that they need that will help them feel good. And with our littles, we've got lots of different ones. We've got Owie, which is good for boo-boos, but we've also got 2 that I don't think get enough push, and that is our oh my goodness, got the wrong one, tummy jies. Send them with tummy jies, because when they're nervous, their tummies get all kinds of crazy. And it's especially in the first month, they're changing their cycle. They were out doing all kinds of different things, and this helps with it. So tummy jies is great for the little tummy. Again, we're going over all the oils another day. I just want to give you some bibbits. So snifflies, I still grabbed the wrong one. It is Kid Power and Genius that I am looking for. If my granddaughter was here, she would know exactly which color was which. So these 2 right here, I do not think get the kudos that they need. And our Kid Power is all about empowering and making them feel strong. And I have my granddaughter, when she's putting on her Kid Power, she puts it all over her chest, she puts it on her hand, she puts it on her head, she rubs it pretty much anywhere she wants. And I have her say, I am powerful beyond belief. So as she's rubbing it, she said, I am powerful beyond belief. I can do anything. I am power, rubbing on the oil, because we're tying in the thought process of this oil, which is empowering, which is strengthening, which is that I'm capable. I am more than enough. That is Kid Power. And having them say those words and tie it to it, so that even when she's feeling weak, when she smells this aroma, it's going to remind her she is powerful beyond belief. Because do you think a 4-year-old ever feels weak? You bet. Our kids feel like they have no say over anything, that the world happens around them and they just have to go with the flow. Kid Power is powerful for that. And then Genius. Oh, my friend, this is about the thought process and having her rub this on her head and on her neck and on her chest. She just loves to rub them on her chest and saying, I am a genius. I am so smart. I can learn anything. And those may not seem like the most powerful phrases, but for a 4-year-old to be able to say, I can learn anything, like everything they don't know, they can learn. They are a genius. Inside them, they have the spark to be amazing. And I want to speak that. I want her to learn to speak that over her. So grabbing these is powerful. And you know what? Our kids all the way up to high school need the same thing. The oils that are in here, you need. If you question whether or not you are strong, if you question whether or not you're smart or you can learn, you need to pop these on too. We also have ones like Clarity and Brain Power. Those are phenomenal for our high schoolers because they are all about getting this back where it's supposed to be and saying, I have amazing clarity. My brain is so powerful. The Big Bang, my brain is stronger than everybody's, right? I want that feeling, right? But it's stimulating all of that thought process and getting those synapses. And a cool thing is if you use something like peppermint or Clarity or Brain Power when you're studying, and then you put those oils on or have them on cotton balls. I know some schools don't like the aromas. Have them on cotton balls so you can smell them. When you go to do that test, it brings that memory. They are tied to each other. So much science behind it. So having those going, having things like peppermint. Pepper has been shown to increase your skills when you're actually your recall when you're doing school. Lemon, those are very triggering oils that you can use, and they're ones that smell good when they're out and about. Think about that too with your kids. When you're having them use the different oils, make sure they're not aromas they're going to get teased about. So although oregano is great for the immune system, oregano is also not the greatest aroma. So instead of using something like oregano on their feet, grab your Thieves Roll-On. It smells bubbly, it's delicious, everybody likes cinnamon. They can have that on their feet instead of something like oregano. And then the other thing I'm going to say is have them smell the oils and see which ones work for them. Which one do they really like? My sweet 4-year-old granddaughter loves basil. Now, basil is not an oil that I would think, oh yeah, that's a normal one for a 4-year-old. But she loves it. She loves the smell of it. She likes to take that. I rub oils on my arms all the time with dealing with MS. It was something I had just gotten the habit because those weak arms. But your kids copy you, and she'll take that basil and she'll just rub that on and she'll smell it. She loves basil. So why does she love basil? I don't know. But it's one that really resonates for her. Will it change as she goes through different stages of her life? You bet your baby, because if you would have asked me 4 months ago, it would have been tangerine. My girl was all about the tangerine. We couldn't keep it in. She just loved her tangerine. So let your kids pick and choose oils that just ring true for them. And if there's an aroma, if there's an oil you really want them to use, but they're like, Mom, I don't like it, then that's the kind that can just go on their feet. But the other ones, let them pop in the diffuser, and you'll just see some amazing things happening. And so that's just my quick bibbits for you. I'm sure I left some stuff out, and I apologize if I did. If you have any questions, any thoughts, any things, you just ask those questions, and I answer the questions for about 2 days afterwards. And if you found this video because somebody had it posted on their page, or they sent it to you, or anything like that, it's because they care about you and they thought this would be something amazing for you. So please make sure you get back with them. There's so many different ways that you can get started, and they can get you a discount code so you can get 10% off of anything that you order, at least right now. So I don't know what it's going to be a month or two from now. So anyways, get back with them and they will help you get started. And you guys, God bless, and we will talk to you later. Have a great school year.